All right, everybody, welcome back. Season 3 Best Buds Podcast. Tonight, we got a very special guest, Mr. Travis Thompson himself, the
Krabby
man, the myth, the
Patty.
legend,
Yes,
Travi
sir.
Patty, the author, the philanthropist, the anime lore giver. Give it
Where
up for
he
Trav,
at? Where
man.
he at? No, where he at? Am I
He's
putting you
right
on the
there.
spot?
That's right at him. That's right at him.
Yes,
Yeah.
Big
sir.
trap, big trap. What up, though?
Trav, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming on, bro. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all boys special, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we all know Trav. We're friends with Trav. You know, I think something that we all have in common with Trav is that creative. I mean, a lot of people have that creative outlet, but like not a lot of people really pursue it. And I think that we're all trying to pursue it. And so here we are, coming together.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We met Trav through Zion's older brother, Jamon. They were college roommates.
Hooped.
And
SAU.
you know, when great humans meet great humans, they stay in touch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what happened with Trav. You know, he's just a top tier guy. Can't say enough good things about him. You know, I've been over to his house before. The hospitality was great. You know, he made me
Appreciate
feel
that.
comfortable. So yeah, it's an honor to have Trav here tonight. So, Trav, the audience might know you as an up and coming author. Tell us a little bit about that.
First, let me just say that, man, I met you boys, and y'all are a special three individuals. You know, it's a bit rare that you meet a friend of a friend, and you stay friends with those people. It's usually just like a meet and greet, and then it's bye. Like y'all have become individual friends to me. Where
Facts.
I like all three of y'all individually outside of Jamon. So it's just a test to like you said, great character. Y'all boys are inspirational, always doing something new. I appreciate y'all bringing me on. Um, but right now I'm running something called the Unknown Perspective. That's a website I just created slash blog where I'm creating a area where authors and myself can present amazing, interesting stories and plots that they want to produce and share with the world. Right now, we're kind of just getting started. I got 2 stories on there, 1 book review. We got 1 on the way. I'm coming close to maybe posting a preview of the book I'm working on. So it's definitely a lot of exciting stuff going on there. Unknown Perspective, man. So
What do you mean you have a book review on there? Like someone's reviewing your book to see if we could post it as a book, or you've already published it and there's a review on the published book.
So it's more like me reviewing books that I've read this year.
Okay.
So yeah, the first review I got is of The Will of the Many by James Islington, which is like a 600-page sci-fi fantasy novel. And I just want to give love back to authors as well. Like I want to create my own, but I also want to give love to people that inspire me. Like I got so many other book reviews like Red Rising, I read
Dude,
Golden Sun. So like there's just so many good books out there. I want to give love to the authors that have inspired me to want to share my stories as well. And I want to bring other authors in and invite them to also do the same cuz like I don't read it all, you know. There's fantasy, there's romance, there's so many genres, even like comics or manga. It's a place where anybody can come and enjoy the genre or the medium.
Shout out to books too, man, for surviving the
Dude,
test of time.
I
Cause
was
like I
about to
feel like with
say
the internet, like you would
they
think
are.
books
Yeah,
would dwindle, or like I don't know. For some reason, when I was a kid, I was like, "What's the point of having even reading books when you have the internet? You can just read it all online." But like now, when you're reading a book, like you're tapping into some knowledge. It's some knowledge you're tapping into. Versus online, it's you never know what you're looking at for real.
hey, Trav, I just want to say I was with Jamon earlier today, and through him, put me on Red Rising. I think I'm gonna get it and start reading it.
Oh
He
man,
was
were you on the phone? Were you there when we were on the phone earlier?
No, bro. He told me all about it later. Like he came
Dude,
over and we chilled. And it sounds insane,
I
insane.
tell
What's it
you,
about?
When I tell you Red Rising, first of all, Red Rising has been one of the most impactful reads this year for me. Include and Golden Sun, the second book of the series, is even better. But I bought Jamon his copy. It was so good. Like I bought it in Target same day I saw it. I said, Jamon, like I will pay for you to read this. Like I need you to read this. But it's basically about or it's an advanced society where like there's a color society where they've kind of created a hierarchy where golds are the apex of human beings, where they're basically like they're super pretty, they're super strong, tall, handsome, fast. They're just like the apex. They're smart. They lead society as like the kings and queens of the world. And then there's underneath them are grays, obsidians, reds, orange, pinks, and blues, and all the other colors have a role. So like reds or miners, they mine something called like helium-3, and helium-3 is what they use to like add oxygen to other planets so people can live on those planets. So the reds are important because they're the bottom of the barrel, but the helium-3 that they mine creates a living habitat for the other people. So basically them obsidians are fighters, grays are guards, oranges are like the smart ones. Pinks are like how appropriate can I be on here? There's cursing. Is there no cursing? I don't know if there's cursing.
You can say
I don't
whatever,
want to
man.
curse.
Go right the fuck ahead, man. Fuck.
Tight. So pinks are basically sex slaves for the golds. Like that's their only goal is like pinks are like they have like a chip planted in them where like they either have sex or they're in pain. Like they have to have sex. Like it's crazy. But like this is in society is ran by this. So our main character Darrow, hail Darrow, Reaper of Mars. You're gonna love Darrow. Go to main character, best main character I've read. But Darrow is a red at the bottom of the mines and the bottom of the barrel in Mars, and basically like Darrow gets put through the ringer. He wins a competition. He wins it through his own merit, and they basically take it away from him. Basically, like showing him like no matter how good you are, no matter how much you fight for it, you're still an ant. And like they even quote it like they're like even a strong ant is still a fucking ant. So like it's just a powerful book about how like the bottom of the barrel can uprise past society. So Darrow, you're going through Darrow's journey of basically breaking the chains, and it's not just a traditional revenge where he's just taking all his hate out on the golds. He really wants to change society from within and do the right thing, but it's difficult. He's in an impossible situation. The golds are invincible. So it's just a great series.
Did you already finish? You already finished it?
I'm on book 3 right now. I'm on Morning Star, which is like I've gotten a few spoilers, but I know like it's the end of the first trilogy, so I'm expecting some Anakin Skywalker vibes like from Darrow. Darrow's about to step on some necks.
Got to. Oh my
Whenever
gosh.
I read one of your shorts about the knight who went to get the sword for the king.
Sword of Truth.
The sword of truth, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed it seemed like visually it was like boxing visuals. You know what I'm saying? Like the liver shots and stuff like that. Whenever it helped me visualize the movements, but I saw more boxing in it. You know what I'm saying? Than swordplay. You see what I'm trying to say?
So, like one thing about like my writing style, what I do is like I visualize the fight that I want to happen, um, and then I'm like try to bring it to life for the reader. So I feel like sometimes the best way to visualize it is through experience and like what you know, because I'm not a swordsman. I've never picked up a sword. So like the best way to like gauge it is like go what you know, like a fight. Like I know more boxing, UFC, and like I've actually seen it, done it, tried it. So it's easier for me to convey the message to the reader like, hey, he takes a step in, dodges, weaves left, maybe gets a punch in the liver, that type of thing. And the reader can visualize that so
It makes
perfectly.
it way easier.
So instead of you saying like he takes a forward narrow strike with his blades slicing through the air, so like if you're being too like immersed into like the story, sometimes you can lose certain readers, and my goal is to not lose any of the readers. You should be able to pick up the story as a novice and like really absorb into it.
Yeah, the second one almost sounds more like it was the other person's turn to strike in like a video game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First one definitely helped me, especially since I'm a boxer. Like it helped me visualize where the feet were planted and everything with the story. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to. The fights of the Sword of the Truth were the most exciting part to write. So you can see a lot of love in those parts compared to like maybe the beginning exposition, kind of gliding or coasting past that. But like towards the
Right.
fight, you'll get a lot more details because it's the more important part of the short story.
So Trav, I got a question for you.
Sir,
I think you're you're a very effective communicator. You don't use a lot of filler words. You're very straight to the point and very you convey your message very clear. How would you say reading and writing and coming up with like you said, like your creative process of like visualizing and then turning into a story? How would you say that affects your like day-to-day communication with people?
reading and writing, the thing that's so powerful about reading and writing is you can't throw a you can't throw a or a you can't the fillers that people will use when they communicate is because they're thinking or they're actually talking before they're thinking. So that little is usually like their brain processing what they want to say and how they want to say it. So it could be like how they want to tell you, like they're trying to like sugarcoat something, so they need a brief moment to process the sugar, or maybe they're about to say something they don't want to say, they need a second. So like reading has shown me like if you read a book, the author, unless like maybe the character has a stutter or you're trying to give a character a certain like impediment, the reader has to just read it clear cut. Like there you can't have any filler. Within 5 seconds you can lose a reader. They're like, this is terrible. So something that's kind of helped me is like there's no need for all the excess when you're talking. You can clear cut it straight to the person. And that's helped me in my job as well. Like I work in an HVAC facility where we manufacture units, and I have to like I'm overseeing 20 people, 5 leaders. They're all older than me. Some are younger than me, but rarely. They don't want to hear jibber jabber, you know? People don't want to hear jibber jabber. They want to hear what's going on, how you want it done, and how it's going to happen. So you just got to give it to them like that. And like reading and writing has given me so much opportunity to grow in that type of communication because I can't waste any time. Like wasting time is wasting opportunity. You know what I'm saying there?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely can relate to that. Like that was kind of a leading question because I felt the same thing. Like whenever I'm taking a lot of time to read and like maybe journal or whatever, I feel like my communication gets a lot better um, throughout my day. Like just things come a little bit easier, you know. But
The words will like originate better. Like I was talking to Jamon about this. Like me and Jamon are actually co-writing a story. If y'all don't know, me and Jamon are co-writing my new story where Jamon is feeding me ideas, or I'll ask him, "Hey, what do you think I should go here?" And I'll put it on the paper. But we're working together. Where like, "Hey, here's our plot. How do we want to do it?" And I'll throw it on the paper. And like one thing Jamon will see when I'm writing, I don't write out like a plot outline. I don't like to do that. Like most people will write like, "Here's what's gonna happen here. Here's the map to get here." No, like I go straight to the paper and I just start typing. And Jamon is like, "How are you just summoning words?" And it's because like so it's just because like as you get better at it, your brain knows the words you want to use in certain scenarios. So like the more your vocabulary expands, the easier it is to use transition words, use transitional phrases, key like diction words that you want to use. Like it's so much easier to get to the point where you need to be if you have the words already like stored in your brain. When you don't read and you don't write and you don't use it, you're probably gonna curse a lot. You're probably gonna throw a lot of curse words because you're just trying to like go excessively quick. But like if you really read and build that vocabulary, the words will like literally spawn into your brain. You don't have to think so hard.
I was gonna say, do
mm,
you feel like you like go into some sort of like flow state whenever you're typing, or can you just like sit down and do it whenever, sort of thing, or do you have to be like in some sort of like zone almost?
So I don't necessarily have to be in a zone, or I wouldn't. Sometimes I do get into a flow state. So like sometimes like I'll get to a point where I'm writing the scene and I can get through like maybe 3 or 4 pages without stopping. Like maybe I'll go back and need to put some commas here or break up sentences, or like if another character's talking, I have to put a he says or she says. But I'll go 4 pages like just going and going and going. But yeah, where you kind of mess up is like now you read it back to yourself and you're like, this transition could be stronger. So it really depends on the type of writer you are. If you don't want to, if you just want to go, you just go. But if you're the type of person that wants everything perfect, so you have to do less revisions, then it might take you a lot longer to start.
I wanted to say, I wanted to ask a question because I feel like we'll have a lot of people on here that, like, when we're talking to people, like, obviously everyone has their job to pay for their bills and whatnot, but a lot of people also have their passions as well. And I feel like maybe because we're all like this is why we're surrounding ourselves with people that are also in that same scenario. But I feel like from personal experience, whenever I'm busier with my passion stuff, like video editing and like stuff like this, where I'm not even getting paid anything, I'm honestly happier than I am whenever I'm just working and then I come home and it's like I'll come home and lay down in bed and like not know what to do, and it'll just like make me feel like almost depressed in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, like, how do you go about balancing work, passion, relaxing, like all that good stuff? Because obviously you spend a lot of time writing and you spend a lot of time doing stuff where you're not seeing, you know, any income yet from that, which obviously you're gonna have to. That's time you could be using to make income, but obviously you're making that sacrifice for the passion. So
Yeah, I say when you're passionate about something, you don't have to get paid to do it. You know, like when you really enjoy doing what you're doing, you don't need a cent to inspire you to do it. And I think that the better you are at literally anything you become good at, like, and you master, you can turn it monetary. You know, whether like for an example is like I think we all might know David Goggins, right? David Goggins gets paid to be an animal. Like he doesn't get paid because he's like so great or like he has a special skill. His special skill is just being an animal. Like really, like that's his thing. Like so it's like for me, obviously I work like I work a 9 to 5 that isn't a 9 to 5. It's really like 3 p.m. to 12:15. So I work a 9 hour shift, a 10 hour shift every day. In the mornings, I'll fit in a gym workout when I wake up early, and I'll have some like free time before I go to work. So like I'll squeeze in some writing sessions during there, or maybe I'll meal prep. So like for me, like at night when I get off work is when I have the most time to write. So I'll spend anywhere between an hour or two before I go to bed trying to get as much in as I can. But there's also moments in time where I'm at work and I might have time to type on my phone, and I try to squeeze it in. So it just really depends on like how passionate you are about it. So you really got to really put focus and like find ways to do it, because a 40-hour work week is nowhere near how many hours you have in a week. You have so many hours in the week, like 40 hours is nothing. So if as long as you're not like wasting your time like throwing up your phone or doing like meaningless stuff, you always find time to do what you're passionate about. It just depends if you let those distractions like overcome you. It's so easy to pick up your phone. Like I'm a victim of it. It's so easy to pick up your
oh yeah,
phone and
be on
scroll
there for like 30,
endlessly.
45 minutes. It's like,
Yeah,
Bro,
or
man, I
like
could have been. And then you just start feeling bad. It just stacks up, and
time be
it's like,
flying by. I'm like, yo, what?
I could be on
yeah.
TikTok for like an hour and a half. I'm not gonna lie.
Easy, easy.
So is there like not a time where have you noticed whenever you don't have something that you're making that time to be passionate about, if your mood changes, or have you always found something to be passionate about and carved time for that?
Uh, you can definitely feel your mood change. Like if you're, I feel like my mood changes when I feel sloppy, and when I feel sloppy, that's when I notice I feel the most depressed, quote unquote depressed, or I
Right,
feel the
right,
most
right.
like feel the most anxious about my life is when I know like I know I work 50 hours to 55 hours a week, and that's like the bare minimum to me. Like to some people that might be like extreme, but like that's the bare minimum. So if I'm not working out, reading, writing, just doing whatever I can to like improve my own like career or my skills, I do feel like sometimes I'll like get out of touch with myself, or like I'll lay down and feel miserable, or like I'll wake up and be like, oh, I don't want to do anything. But it's so different when you hit the gym, you go hit the gym, your mood changes immediately, or you do
Yeah,
something
every
you
time,
enjoy,
It's
it
crazy.
just changes. Like, but
every time.
the hardest thing is to just start. If you just start, everything will change. Like, take that first step and you're good.
I feel like when you adapt that mindset, when you've done it for so long with the gym, and you know that as soon as you get that workout in, you're gonna feel a lot better. That's how I was today. Like I knew today I was like feeling kind of sluggish. As soon as I stepped to the gym, I was still sluggish when I got there, but I knew like as soon as I start moving my body, that I'll just start feeling way better. And that's something that
Yeah.
a lot more people should be doing. Move
I think
around.
out of touch is a good way to describe it, because it's like it's really just you need that one thing to just kickstart it. Then once you get going, it's just a waterfall of things. Like I definitely relate to going to the gym. Whenever you get back, it's like, hey, maybe I should like clean up a little bit. Like maybe I
Yeah,
should do
it's a
this,
little trickle effect, little trickle effect.
and invest in yourself, and that's in the long run going to feel a lot better than laying down in your bed when it feels good
Ha-
right then.
just habit
Yeah,
stacking.
yeah,
Shout out to
Facts.
definitely.
Atomic Habits.
Shout out to
So
Atomic Habits, man. Powerful, powerful book right there.
Have
Powerful.
we all read that?
I have not
I'm
yet. I was actually
I'm
meaning to
I'm reading
grab
it
it from
now.
you. Oh, I didn't know if you were done yet.
I know I'm still reading it. I'm still reading it. So
One
sorry.
of my siblings was gonna get it. It was sitting in my Amazon cart, so I might just get it. I think it's like $12.
Dude, I got an
yeah,
amazing PDF to send you of that book, man. If you want it, it's got a PDF file that's like marked up and everything, and it highlights the most powerful parts of the book. And I think
ooh,
like
Mm.
Atomic Habits, like any like self-help book is one of those books that's like endless exposition of like how you can fix things. So like that PDF marks off the important like tips and tricks he's trying to give you, and you can just skim through it instead of having to read like over. Like he'll tell you what he's doing, how it works, how it affects you, and why it's like backed by science, which is really good. Like if you hear why it works, you might feel more inclined to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
just feel like if you're to the point where you already know you want to change your habits and you've been
Yeah.
there before, reading the tips and tricks he gives you is more than enough. Like more than
Right. If
enough.
you're already reading the book, you've obviously already taken that step towards wanting to get better.
Yeah.
So
So you just gotta
yeah,
trust what he's trying to tell you. And I will say like some of the things I've input from Atomic Habits have genuinely like improved like my own like self improvement. Like I've taken the where he says like make habits attractive. So like one thing I do every day, I run every day. Like I try to do 2 miles a day. Like running is my favorite form of working out. It's my peace. Enjoy the fresh air. I run outside. I hate a treadmill. And then like what I would do is I'd listen to the same playlist every single day. And like I'd literally just listen to Drake or like all these motivational artists every single day, but the same songs. And like eventually I switched to audiobooks. So I switched to audiobooks because at the end of the day, I'm gonna run 2 miles regardless of what I'm listening to. Just sometimes you'll run faster to the music. So like one thing I've done is like I want to get more in tune with like reading the Bible or listening to the Bible. So now I read and listen to the Bible when I run. And it's made it so much easier to like push through it because it's like I've made the habit attractive. Because I feel like if I just said, all right, 15 minutes a day, I'm gonna sit in my room and read it, it's gonna be so easy to be like, I'm gonna skip past that today.
yeah,
Whereas I
Yeah.
have to run. I know I'm gonna run, so I know I can't run away from the audiobook either.
facts. That's a habit stacker, and that's a making it make it attractive as well. And that's also like the intention. It's I think in the book he talks about like it's easier to do a habit whenever you have forget. But there's something to do with intention, like making it to where you have a time. You know you're gonna be up in the morning. You know you're gonna run. You might as well just put in your earbuds and listen to the Bible as well. So that's
Facts.
fine. I've been reading the Bible as well, and that's the reason why I haven't been able to read much of Atomic Habits. I started from the beginning, so it's it's kind of repetitive, but it's still really good. I'm excited to get through it. So very fire read. Definitely most impactful read. I feel like also like because I don't go to churches or anything, I don't really like get advice from someone about it. But I pray, you know what I'm saying? I pray and I'm like, you know what? God, my thoughts, like get into my head. So whenever I'm reading this, I can, because the way I think of it is I'm reading the words of man,
The book is your
even though
advice.
it's the Bible, and God is within me. He's gonna tell me the message through me. You know what I'm saying? Not through the Bible. It's gonna be through me, but I have to see the words first. You know what I'm saying?
It'll
So it's
help you
really
be
cool.
more it'll help you be more coachable about it. This is something I read in like a devotional that I like a devotional started my journey. It's like a 5 minute devotional where it sends you to like a story. You read it 5 minutes, write some notes about it, and you're done. Like it's so simple to do. But like I just spread through it one day and I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure out which one sounds interesting. And it was like be coachable. And like that resonates with all of us. We all play sports. We all know what being coachable means. But I opened it and I'm just like, when I opened it, I realized I have been dealing with the being so uncoachable in my life sometimes, where like somebody will bring up a habit they want me to try, or they want me to try a way like to read or preach the Bible or anything. Like I've just been so uncoachable when I hear someone's opinion, and it really was a good lesson to know my inner self. Like to you, you might be talking to me and I'm smiling. I'm like, yeah, in my head, I'm like, oh, this guy again. Like he's trying to tell me again. Like, oh, when is he gonna let it go? But in
Yeah.
my heart, I know that's wrong. Like I'll leave the conversation feeling bad that like I didn't even give them the time or thought. Like maybe they're trying to give me an important message that I need to hear. So
Yeah.
definitely, I feel like reading has made me more open to being coachable about hearing people out. Let me just hear people out. You never know what someone can give you, whether it's the
Yeah.
Bible, life. Anybody can teach you something important. You know.
Yeah. And if it's not important, there's you can still retain the information. It's still your choice what you do with it, you know? So I always like to listen to people, even if it's something that I may not entirely agree with. I think not outwardly expressing that you disagree with it and just kind of indulging in what they have to, fully indulging in what someone has to say, you
Mm.
have a little more to learn. Um,
That would do people a lot of good nowadays.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
being more open to just listening to people, regardless of if you agree or not.
You got to develop that presence to be able to really hear someone out too. It's kind of it's easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hear you out, and
And then tune them
not have
out.
those thoughts in the back. Yeah,
well,
still have those thoughts in your head.
we've been slowly conditioned to the mind. People know how the mind works, right? And we people like to pick sides, right? And so they instill that in us that it's okay to pick a side. You should be picking sides. There's wrong or there's right. Not knowing that intertwined in the wrong and rights, there are little wrong and rights in those as well. Like people have to make all these little tiny decisions. It's not always just one side, one way or the other. People and I put this in my notes that you got that I shared with you guys. People's minds are too easily swayed from one side to the other. They pick a side and then they no longer even hear out why someone got to a that answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just see the answer like the answer's wrong. So everything they did before that must have been wrong too. You know. But we make mistakes and
Yeah, we're
yeah,
all human.
it's bad. It's bad.
There's 8 billion people out here. You know, people need to understand that sometimes.
I got a question for you fellas.
Oh,
What do y'all think has been the most impactful literature or media that has impacted you personally?
I know.
I know.
At first I wanted I want to say the Bible because the thing that I like so much about the Bible is how vague it is and just how like mysterious it is. It really lets you just like wrap your brain around something and come up with all these different answers. And why is this? Why is that? Is this okay? Is that okay? Blah, blah, blah. So I like that. But The Power of Now was a book that Joshua's mom had gave me for my birthday. It talks about being present and just like constantly letting go of your ego. That was placed into my life at a very nice time because it started at a time where I was ready to walk in that direction. So the timing of that book and everything was really impactful. I also wanted to say one more thing before we go on to what they said. When you're talking to people about their faith, their core beliefs, it's so difficult because you're challenging someone's direct ego. Basically, like everything that they've that they do in their everyday life, the choices that they make with the little things, the struggles that they have, like with good and bad, and whether I should be dating people or whether I should be messing around or if I should be acting serious. Like when you question their morals, they cling to it like a scared puppy, like running back to his mom. You know what I'm saying? And so what I've learned is, in order to receive more information on the very mysterious things that life has to offer, like you have to be able to uncling from it. Like you can still follow your beliefs and everything, but whenever someone's speaking to you, uncling to it for a moment, just to allow the words to come to your consciousness.
Yeah, I like that. Mine is not, it's like the complete opposite of the Bible maybe, but it was my Bible growing up, and Harry Potter. I was just it's what got me into reading. Like
Into what?
into reading. Like I just picked it up. It was the first book I really ever picked up and was just like obsessed. You know what I mean? Like I woke up, ate, read, slept, repeated. Like, you know what I mean? With the first time I read Harry Potter, I just cooked through it, and I've replicated that feeling a few other times with books and some TV shows, I guess, in a way. But like that feeling to me is like what I search for when I'm reading a book. Even though now I can't read all day.
Like being fully encapsulated in your imagination with the words.
Exactly. Yeah. Like thinking about it like while I'm eating food.
See, I like to read a book. I'm reading it, and then I see something, and I have to put it down and just think. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put it down and be like, I read it again, and just put it down for a minute and just keep thinking like of all these different things that come to my head. But I haven't read a book like Harry Potter. Like I read like books like Atomic Habits or like Power of Now that aren't really like those two books aren't stories at all. The Bible has stories in it, so it's a little different. You can kind of jump into the action and kind of see. You know what I'm saying? I haven't read a book like that in a brick, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that was when I was really young. I reread a few of the books in college when I got bored, one semester. But I think that Red Rising might get me. That might be like the next series I kind of try and.
I think you're gonna cry, brother. I think I literally I was reading Red Rising and I probably was on like the last like 100 pages, and I was so obsessed with the book at the point where like in between sets, you know how sometimes in between sets at a workout you'll like check your phone, you might like go through Instagram real quick or like whatever you do in between your set to like focus or just like relax till your muscles recover. Dude, I was pulling up my Kindle and like reading Red Rising, and it was at a point where I was at the like the back like chest pull, and I'm literally hanging over it like this, reading it, and I was like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home right now and read this. And like I literally, I left work. I mean, not left work. I left the gym. I sat in my car for like 30 minutes reading again. I was like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. I literally drove home and like finished the book like the 100 pages like before I had to go to work. Like it's just insane. Like Red Rising is like some of the best quotables, best action, best plot narratives, settings, anything you can think of that would like you would enjoy. Romance, it has everything I think you would enjoy in a book. And you get so in touch with the characters, like kind of like Harry Potter. Like at the end of Harry Potter, you want Harry to win so bad, or you're so in love with some character from Harry Potter. Maybe you're a Voldemort fiend, and you're like you want Tom Riddle to come back and get his get back on Dumbledore, who's low key the real villain. But like either way, like characters in Red Rising are so like impactful. Like Darrow, like by the end of Red Rising, you're gonna be just like me. Like Darrow is our king. Like we serve Darrow. We serve him. Like he's him.
Just let's hear those books.
All right. Honestly, the first book that came to mind for me too was probably the Bible. I've been reading the Bible too a lot recently. Zion, you actually inspired me to start doing it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's just nice, and I think you made a good point about the vagueness of it. I try to pick it up whenever I'm like at a crossroads in life, or like I'm coming up on a big decision or something like that, and kind of just pray that it gives me some type of sign or words of wisdom, whatever. Um, See, I definitely say the Bible is as far as impact. Um, but personally, I'm kind of similar to Zion. Like whenever I first started reading, I was more into like self-help books. Like I read Atomic Habits, um, and then one book. I haven't read The Power of Now yet. I'm trying to work on it. I actually have a copy. I need to read it,
Don't you have the second one as well?
and I have the second one.
What is that one called?
Yeah, I don't know. It's by Eckhart Tolle though. I'm sure you can
Okay.
find it easily
Yeah.
on the internet. Um, but I would say is for me like as far as kind of like Noah said, like enjoying a story and really like impact, definitely Game of Thrones. One, the series, I've seen it 3 times now, and I feel like it always just kind of pops up when I need it to. Like I'll watch it. I'll just like dive deep into it, be like obsessed with it for like maybe like 2 months. It always just comes up like at the right times. Like y'all have something like that. Like it just kind of just pops back into your life like right when you need it.
You need
Now I'm
that.
reading, yeah. Like
Game
now
of
I'm reading
Thrones
the
is
books,
peak. It's peak.
and I'm about 500 pages through the original book. It's like 800 pages, so it's been taking me a while.
How many seasons of the show is that?
Dude, spoiler alert. Has everybody seen it?
I have not seen enough of Game of Thrones for. I don't mind spoilers though, but I haven't seen it like in like episodic like progress. Like I've like cut in while someone else is watching it. Like I
Right.
know Jon Snow. I know spoilers of like the Red Wedding. I know spoilers enough to be like I could probably act like I've seen the show before, honestly.
Fair enough. Okay, well then I'm on page 500. Ned is still alive.
Wow.
Isn't that
What?
crazy?
That is crazy. There
He's
must be
like
a lot more details in
he's
the book.
carrying the plot, bro. Carrying the plot. Like the cool thing about the book, it goes through different characters. Like each chapter is a different character's perspective, which is so cool.
Oh, that's
Like
tough.
you'll flip to, Daenerys, and kind of like the show, like it goes
Right,
through
right.
different.
Yeah, that's true.
But when it gets on, when you see Eddard on the page, bro, you already know it's about to be some peak. Like
Eddard
it's just
Stark.
And
yes, like every chapter that has his, you're just like, damn, this shit's about to be good.
Yeah, because I feel like especially at that point in the book or in the show, it was everything was revolving around him. Like whenever he made movements, the plot was progressing. You know.
he was in full control
Yes.
for that. Yeah, for that first season, for sure.
And one of the things I love about Game of Thrones too is they do such a good job of foreshadowing without even you wouldn't even know. Like in the first episode, when they find the direwolves are feeding on well, they're not feeding, but the direwolf mom got killed by a moose antler, right? A
Yeah.
moose is a sigil for the Baratheons, who eventually ends up not killing Ned, but gets him killed.
Yeah.
Whose sigil is a dire wolf.
Right.
And there's just so little things like that. And
Like the head
in the book,
leaving his children with the wolves. Yeah. It's tough.
right? And in the book, like the wife starts to pick up on it, and she starts to notice. She's like, don't you see this? Like, I have such a bad feeling about this. Like, our sigil is
Mm,
dead right in front of us. Like, we shouldn't be feeding into this. And then he ends up dying. So it's just like they give so much foreshadowing, and it's just such a beautiful story.
yeah,
Shout out to
that's
George R. Martin.
Hey, I think we still need a song from you. Trav.
yeah. Do we want to wrap it up with that? Is there anything else we want to talk about? What are we
I think we
thinking?
can wrap it up. It's been a good amount of time.
Is There More by Drake.
Ooh-wee.
Is there more?
Hey,
I don't think
I'm not gonna
so.
lie,
Yeah.
Drake the goat.
Shout out to Drake. I did want to say that The most powerful media that I've experienced is in two forms. One, the greatest anime of all time, Code Geass, made a 12-year-old boy cry for the main character at the end. Code Geass, greatest anime you could ever watch. Greatest plot line, author. I mean, the director, the writer, they know how to give you a story and never make you feel bad at the end. They really give you the payoff that you want. It's one of the only animes I've watched that give you the payoff you know you want.
Right.
And like a lot
I
of
can
books
fully
and movies will
satisfy
do,
that.
yeah, the movies and books will do the same way to you. Like give you a terrible payoff for the journey you went through. So Code Geass and the book that inspired me to start reading and writing again past like my biggest slump. Like I was a heavy reader in middle school and high school, stopped reading all the way through college and like past college and job is Recursion by Blake Crouch. And when I tell you Blake Crouch, I read his first book, Dark Matter, first, and it really wasn't my favorite series. It almost made me start another reading slump. I hate to like I don't want to like poop on it. Like Dark Matter wasn't bad by any means. Like it was good. It's just the main character was he's kind of a cuck, honestly. Like he was kind of cucking. Like his wife was like with somebody else that was like I don't want to spoil it. His wife is he gets like replaced by like an alternate universe of him, and he's just kind of cucking. I'm not gonna lie. So kind of like Dark Matter is kind of tough to read because Jason's just like a weird main character, but
Mm.
Recursion seems like Blake Crouch's magnum opus of writing because journey Helena and Barry go through and the payoff you get at the end is so perfect. And I'll just briefly go over Recursion, just briefly, to maybe hook y'all on to giving it a try. It's a single novel. It's only like maybe 260 pages, not very long. Quick read, honestly. Basically, two main characters, Barry and Helena. Barry is a detective who is following a case called the FMS case, which is false memory syndrome. And basically, he's tracking down like people who are like dealing with these false memories that appear. Like people are waking up and remembering wives they never had, children they never bore, friends they could have swore they had, but they never existed. So people are waking up in New York with false memories, and basically like people are committing suicide because they're like, oh, I just had this whole life with my husband, like I swear, but then they go back to their
Mm.
normal life like it never happened. So he's exploring like that case, and on an alternate timeline, Helena is a scientist who is working on creating a machine that cures Alzheimer's for her grandmother. So she works at like Stanford or something like that as a just an institute teacher, and she's working on creating a machine, trying and trying and trying, but she has no funding. And this random guy named Slade comes up to her and is like, "Hey, I got $1 billion island. I got the best scientists in the world, and I want you to come help us build like your machine, right?" And she thinks it's kind of weird at first, but eventually she wants it because she wants to cure her grandmother's Alzheimer's. And basically, as the story progresses, you'll realize that Barry's case is very intertwined with the machine that Helena is creating. And when you find out the machine that Helena is creating, you'll realize that she's creating more than a device that can cure Alzheimer's. She's creating something way more powerful than she could ever imagine. And Barry and Helena's story intertwined. And when they first meet, it's gonna blow your brain because the first 60 pages is like Barry 2006, Helena 2002, Barry 2007, Helena 2003. Like slowly but surely they get closer and closer to the timelines, and like Blake Crouch makes it such a comfortable read for anybody to like feel the timelines getting closer until you stop realizing you're reading timelines and Helena just shows up in Barry's like story. It blows your mind when Helena shows up because you don't expect it. Like it's crazy. This isn't like a crazy spoiler, but like when Helena shows up, you're like Blake Crouch is a master at weaving timelines. Like it's not a multiverse or anything like that. It's just the fact that he can go through different time periods and never make it feel like, all right, you're pushing it now. Like it's crazy. Recursion will give you one of the greatest payoffs at the end ever. Like
Short read
Barry,
too.
it's a fantastic read. It's short. Barry will do anything for Helena. Helena will do anything for Barry, and it's like a symbol of true love. Kind of. It's not the main plot line that romances, but the thing about Barry and Helena is they show you what true love is capable of. Helena will literally sacrifice everything for Barry without like a second thought about it. and Barry would do the same. And when I tell you the trials that Helena goes through, she's strong. She's strong. I mean, like,
Mm.
I can't tell you the machine. The machine she created is the main spoiler, but when you get to that point, you'll realize like it's crazy. It's a crazy journey. Recursion's peak.
Damn, we got a lot to read, boys.
You might have just hooked me right there. Might have just hooked me. I'm not gonna lie. 260 pages too. Love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
very short and
nice.
sweet.
That's nice. I'd say that about do it, fellas. Wraps up another good episode, Trav. Man, we appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
You want to shout out your socials, where they can find you, your website. You said you got book coming.
Man.
You and Jamon co-writing.
You can find me at unknownperspective.com. Unknownperspective.com. I don't know the Instagram by heart, but you can also find me at 99.trav. The Instagram is linked to it. But
We'll tag everything too.
unknownperspective.com.
Yeah. Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you boys, man. I appreciate it's an honor. It's an honor.
Hey man, it's an honor. One creative to another, man. Keep being passionate.
Oh yeah. Keep doing it over here. That about do it. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you drop a like, man. If you made it this far, we appreciate you guys. We're having fun. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.